Alright guys, well we're saying bye to this trailer. We're dropping it off. And I guess we're just going to bobtail back home. Not much in the way of power only to go back that way. So we're just, we're just going to bobtail home. We're going to get optimal fuel mileage. So I think we might get like 7. We're just going to go ahead and leave this guy here. And run home and get my trailer. And we'll be looking loads with my trailer again. But yeah, I'm here at the PDP yard. You know, small little yard, but I got some stuff here. See that International back there? I think that's one they're selling. Like I said, they don't do leases anymore on trucks. But I think this is one that's part of their dealer, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong though. But International. So far, all the ones I've seen have the International engine. So take that with a grain of salt. But let me see if they have any of their... Let's see what they got over here. They might have an RGN over here. Nice drive-in. Yeah, they might have an RGN over here. This looks like one they probably just sold. It's got somebody else's information on it. Because they do sell them to outside carriers as well, not just to their drivers. It's chilly down here in Texas. One of the reefers. Now, just because the trailer is on the lot here, that doesn't mean it's available. I'm just showing you what they got. I believe these trucks, though, are all formally, or are all theirs. These might still be, they might still be leasing these trucks. I don't know. But I know that red one is theirs. This Kenworth is theirs. And I'm pretty sure at least that white Volvo is. But yeah, see, look, here's a step deck. This is what I pulled one of these. Actually, I think that one's the one that I pulled. This looks like it. Is this a combo? Yep, giant combo. Well, does it have the... Yeah, like I said, I pulled one of these step decks for a little bit until I went to another carrier and leased my truck on, because I was kind of worried about what the spot market was going to do. So I went to another carrier where, I was going to have just dedicated freight. And then I came back here because I just kind of got bored with the dedicated stuff. But yeah, this is not the one that I had. Nope. The one that I had, in my earlier videos, like way earlier, you'll see I was pulling a step deck, and because I do have a few videos on me pulling that step deck, so there's proof this fat guy was out there huffing and puffing pulling a step deck. But no, it's this one does not have the ramps. The one that I had a set of ramps, and those are expensive. So it was really nice to have the ramps, and they were just kind of hung up along the side there. And this doesn't even have the mounting brackets for it, so this must never have had them. So this must not be the one that I had. And the one that I had too, I believe, I'll have to look back at the videos, but I believe mine had alloy wheels. But it did have the spreadable, or the adjustable axles, so you could have the spread axle or just a closed axle setup. But yeah, that's like the one that I pulled, just not the one. There's another Compass lease trailer, like what I'm giving back. But this one right here just has a whole lot of that an EGR cooler? What is that? No. It looked like a EGR cooler off a Volvo for a second, but it's a little too small. Got a coolant reservoir from, looks like that's probably from a Volvo. Got some brake shoes. These suckers have some life on them. Well, some of them do. Not all of them, I guess. But yeah, this is the yard in Texas. Oh, it is a cold day here, man. It's a beautiful day. The sun's out. The storm's gone. It's a gorgeous day, but it is cold. But yeah, I don't know if they're, at least I'm not sure if they're leasing these trucks out still or not. It's kind of hard to believe that they're all just parked here at the same time with nobody using them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't think these are just coincidentally people's trucks that are home. Plus, you know, that white Volvo, he's not hooked up to that step deck, and neither is this guy. And you know what? Maybe this was my trailer. This didn't look like the combo. But yeah, this one's got the ramps. Yeah, I think this was my trailer. This has the ramps. Okay, this was definitely my trailer. Holy God, that wind. Darn it. Yep, it's got the alloy wheels down there. It's the combo. Basically what the combo is, if you don't know, whenever you see a step deck or a flatbed or something and it's advertised as a combo, it means it's aluminum and steel. So you've kind of got the strength of the steel and the light weight of the aluminum. Oh, that's a nice looking reefer though right there. Oh, they're doing some work to it. Super shingles on it. Yeah, they got one of the wheels off. Yes, sir. Whew. Man, this wind. Yep, doing some axle work. Huh. Found a new oil leak too on my truck this morning. I don't know. It's like right down in the center under my oil pan. I got down there and looked at it, and it's kind of coming down off the side. And I can't tell. It might be. It probably wouldn't hurt to get a new oil pan gasket on this, and those new spacers that they use for the nuts. Probably wouldn't hurt to do that. You can see it's running down to the bottom, to the low point of my oil pan and dripping off from there. So, still not using a whole lot of oil. I had to put, I put a gallon in earlier this week. And, that was over the span of about 9,000 miles. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. I'm not too concerned about it yet, so we'll just keep an eye on it and see what it does. But that is a newer leak, though. Like I said, I mean, I've had the leak from like the spacer plate and whatnot. Slight leak, just kind of drips. But that was such a minor leak that it really wasn't even showing up on the dipstick. But now it is, so something's gotten bigger. All right, let's get on out of here. nice BMW 6 Series right there on the other side of that gate with the black soft top. You can only imagine the nightmare that car's giving the guy. Beautiful cars, but terrible design on the engine. Alright, let's put this gate code in. No trailer behind me. Alright guys, I think I maybe found a culprit to my charging issue on the truck. And I'm going to go ahead and go inside and get some Coca-Cola, take that wire off and see if I can't clean it up. And that's a lot of corrosion on that wire. See if I can't clean it up and see what that does. Looks like it's some kind of a ground wire. But it's on, like, you know, as you can see, it's kind of grounded to like the top of the alternator. I don't know, but yeah, we'll give it a shot. That sheathing around the wire, you know, obviously it's broken. I'll have to get that replaced, but we'll just clear it off, clean it off, and see what that does. So let's get some Coca-Cola. Yep, we'll see what that does. I'm a little pessimistic about simple solutions like this, but it's worth a shot. Like I said, I was just doing pre-trip on it this morning, and I saw that, so we'll see what we can do. I don't know if I have a wire brush or not, though. Not with me. I'll have to look. I know I've got one at home, but we'll see. We'll see what I can do. But yep, right there. I'd imagine that's enough corrosion to affect it, so we'll give it a shot and see what we can do with it. See what size of wrench that is, but yep, give her a shot. Get over here so that guy didn't hit me pulling out. Alright. It's already looking a little better than it was. I can see more of the copper. Let's go throw some on the kill switch cable too, just for good measure. Well, it's looking better over here. That's where it's anchored to, on the back of the alternator bracket. So we'll see what it does. We'll go ahead and tighten her up and let her dry for a minute. See if that does anything. I guess I don't have a wire brush with me to really dig in there. So we'll just see if the Coke, well, you know, dumping on it, if that helps. But here's the oil leaks I was talking about. It's starting to show up a little bit more prevalently. See that drip right there in the center of the screen? And then it looks like it's collecting on the oil pan gasket. And the oil filter's wet, but it's not coming from the filter. I think it's just wind blowing it onto the filter. And it gets the oil pan is wet all the way back to here, and then it's dripping down to there. That big pool over there is just the Coke, don't mind that. But that drip there, and another drip somewhere. Like I said, that big pool over there towards the other side, that's the Coca-Cola. But yeah, those little drops there, that's the residual from after shutting the engine off. And it was leaking a little bit before too, but it was so little I never had to add oil to it. But now it's doing to the point where I do. So I'll see what the shop says. I'll have to have them. I'll see what they say, where they think it's coming from. It might be, you know, around the spacer plate, these things leak a lot. And we'll just have to see. I think to fix that kind of leak, you have to pull the head off and send it in to get machined, maybe. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Maybe it needs a... It's not like it's not mixing coolant with oil, but I guess it could still be a head gasket. It's not losing power, it's not misfiring, so I don't know that it would be a head gasket. But yeah, I mean, we're not losing coolant either, only oil. So could that still be a head gasket? I don't know. It might be something around there anyway, but we'll see. It does look like that whole wire could afford to be replaced. Yeah, probably. Well, we'll see if this works for now anyway. Let me tighten her back up and start her up. That should be good. right, we'll see what that does. I think for good measure, we'll go ahead and maybe wrap it with some electrical tape as well, just to give it that much more protection. Wouldn't hurt. It ain't perfect and it ain't pretty, but that should suffice. Let's see what it does. At least this truck, though, is already pre-wired for these lights down here when I get some. Well, that didn't seem to do much, but it was worth a shot. We'll let it run for a minute while I go inside and use the restroom. It's creeping up there a little bit. I guess it could still be that wire. Yeah, the corrosion could have gone up, clear up into the sheathing, and you know, it might be a lot more than what I can see and clean. So she might need a little, she may, you know, like you said, that whole wire could be corroded. So, it'll probably just need replaced. However, I will say, getting back in here, that's the highest it's been in a couple of days. Of course, I've got the engine or the fan off, but let me see what happens when I turn the fan on here. Drew it down a little bit, but not much. It's actually a lot better than it was. We'll run like that and see what she does. The real test will be, well, let me just turn them on now, I guess. I was going to say the real test will be when I turn my lights on, but I can do that now. Well, that's still not terrible. It's still higher than it has been, so. I'll turn the lights off here. We'll give it her a shot. We'll give it her. Is that a word? I'll give it her. The word of the day is give it her. We'll give her a shot and see what it does. I know a lot of times when I get rolling, it starts to, you know, lower, it starts to give back down. And at first I thought it was because, you know, the load on the engine, the faster the belt was spinning. I thought maybe that was it. But, you know, so I thought maybe like it had some bad brushes in the old alternator. So like when it was sitting at idle, or when you were just checking the alternator without the engine run, it was at 14 volts, or the alternator, it was at 14 volts. But then when you actually tested it, or when you actually turned it on, you know, that's when things, like when you get on the highway and you got a high RPM, that's when it would start to draw more power, and it would start to get down to the 13 mark. So I don't know. That could be just simply, just be because, I don't know, ambient elements. You know, driving down the road, you're got more air hitting it. I don't know if that could have an effect on bare wire like that, that's already corroded, you know. I don't know. But, I don't know, we'll see what it does. Pretty day now, look at that blue sky. I don't know if I can get around this guy in this truck. See, this is like the proper truck stop etiquette here. There were 3 open spots to back into. This is just laziness. Pure and simple laziness. Now he congests this area when it should be an open flow, free flow area for trucks that are trying to leave. And he just parks there instead of backing into one of the 3 open spots. I don't know. Seems like kind of a silly thing to gripe about maybe to some people, but it's just all about that truck stop etiquette. And when you're lazy like that, just, I don't know, gets on my nerves. Seriously, all he had to do was back up a little bit and he would have been in a spot. It's a tricky little spot here. I can't tell if there's traffic coming. We're good. Yeehaw! Oh, look at that Western Star coming. I like those Western Stars. I like them a lot. Golly, that's rough. I almost bought a Western Star instead of this truck. But I couldn't get the price down on it. And I didn't think it was worth what they were asking for it. A really nice truck though. It was actually at the what's that place down there in Mississippi around Memphis? Crap, a buddy of mine just bought a truck from them. Anyway, place down there they have a ton of gliders, Peterbilt gliders, things like that for sale. A lot of people talk bad about them because of their high prices. But yeah, I went down there and looked at a truck. A 2005 Western Star with the 82-inch sleeper. And it was a beautiful truck, man. Really nice. It supposedly, I mean, this is what they said. That's what the odometer said. But it's a 2005 and it has the exact same engine that this truck does, the A-Cert. And it only had 260,000 original miles on a 2005. So that kind of worried me a little bit, just because you buy something like that and it has such few miles, or so few miles on it, you know, you kind of got to wonder why. But I mean, it could have been a legit thing too. So I mean, like the salesman told me it was sold, or it was a local company's truck, and they just did short local hauls with it. But man, it was a fully decked out Western Star with the 82-inch bunk in it, and it was nice. But yeah, they were asking about $105,000 for it, and that was before the truck market did what it did. I mean, the truck market was on its way up on prices, but it wasn't where it is now. This was probably, oh gosh, I'd say 8-9 months ago, or yeah, about 8 months ago or so. And they were asking 100, like I said, 100. Actually, it's 110, 105 or $110,000 for a Western Star. And it was a nice truck and all, but I think most people know that Western Stars, they don't hold their value like a Peterbilt or a Kenworth does, because they're basically a Freightliner. And this one did have the A-Cert cat. I mean, I would have loved to have had this truck. It was nice. But I could not justify, on that old of a truck with all original equipment, especially, I couldn't justify a 6-figure price on that truck. By the way, still pretty good up there. It's still higher than it has been. So we'll see what that does. And it's back down to 13. That just doesn't make any sense. Why would me cleaning that bring it back up to 14 only to have it drawn back down to 13? I wonder if this gauge is bad. I'll have to check that. This is just insane. Alright guys, this is the stuff I use in my truck. This is the additive I use. A lot of people like to use Lucas. I use this stuff. It works pretty good. I used it starting on my Cascadia, and I noticed a bigger difference in the Cascadia than I do in this, but it still makes a difference in this too. But you don't want to use the whole thing. It's like this little bottle here is good for 800 gallons. So I usually use about a quarter of a bottle in each tank, and that way I get 2 uses out of it. Gonna get all that crap off the rim so nothing goes in the tank. I hate the idea of any kind of debris getting in the tank. Okay. Got about a quarter of a tank in each tank, or a quarter of a bottle in each tank. Alright, now we'll put some in the other one. A little more in this one. I don't really know if it's necessary to put it in both tanks, because this tank eventually just makes its way over to that tank. So, you know, but it helps. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and do that. We're good to go. But that's what I like to use. Hot Shot Secret every day. Like I said, it's pretty good stuff. A buddy of mine turned me on to it. And it works, like I said, it works really well. And like I said, I noticed a bigger difference in my Cascadia, and I think it's because of the emissions. You know, there's not as much going on in these engines on this truck as there was in the Cascadia. So it might just be because it was helping with emissions a little bit more in that truck. I remember the first time I used it, I was pulling a load on terrain that I pulled many times and got about 7.5 or so miles per gallon with it. And then I put that stuff in, and I don't know if it was a coincidence or my Cascadia was just having a really good day, or if, you know, it really did something. But I was getting 9 miles to a gallon with, I think I had about 15,000 pounds in the trailer. And I got 9 miles to a gallon going from St. Louis to I think it was Oklahoma City, in that area. And there's some hills there. You know, there's some hills going down 44 in Missouri. But yeah, I got about 9 miles per gallon with that stuff. So like I said, I don't see as big of a percentage increase with this truck, but it helps. So, you know, every little bit helps in these. Hey guys, so I was talking about the load that I booked earlier, and I was mentioning I was going to talk about it a little later in the video. I guess I'll talk about it now. Yeah, anyway, I booked a load with JB Hunt. I booked it yesterday, picks up on Monday, and, well, typically when you see a load on JB Hunt's board several days before it's supposed to pick up, you know, it was a Friday, so, you know, it picks up on Monday. Sometimes typically when that happens, they won't come off their asking price at all. And typically the asking price is not even really worth much of anything. So, yeah, they had a load on there, a load of tires. and it's a multi-stop load, and they had it on there listed for like 300 and I want to say 340 miles, like 390 miles, something like that. But that was just from point A to the fourth to the third drop off. It didn't count the other stops, and I knew that. But you know, when you counted all the other stops, it's like 680 miles. And they had it on the board already for a, you know, book it now rate of $3,000. That's pretty darn good for you know, for JB Hunt. And so you know, I was like, yeah, well, I'll just go ahead and throw $3,500 out there for a bid. You know, I'm like, they won't accept it, or if they do, the computer will just come back and give me like a $2, you know, a $2 jump in the what they're offering it for, because it's Friday and they have until Monday morning to book it. I put the $3,500 rate in, and I didn't expect anything to come of it. 2 minutes later, I get a notification saying that my bid was accepted, and here comes the rate con. So that's one thing you got to be careful of sometimes when you're bidding on, especially on JB Hunt. If you're just bidding on loads to see if a broker will say, you know, yeah, we'll do it for that, and then you have to accept their acceptance, so to speak, for them to send over the rate con. Be careful on load boards like JB Hunt and I think XPO. If you bid on a load, be prepared to take it, because if they accept it, sometimes they'll just automatically send you the rate con. They won't wait for you to say, okay, great, send me the rate con. They'll just send it to you, and then you're on that load. And then you know, if you decide you didn't want that load, well, now it's a canceled load. You have to cancel it. So you want to be sure that that's the load you want when you bid on it. But anyway, yeah, they sent it to me 2 minutes later with the rate con. I don't know if you're kidding me. And when that happens, it scares me. I'm thinking, okay, there's a catch here. There's got to be a catch. The second stop, which is, you know, the second delivery, is in Richmond, Virginia. And the third and final delivery is in Halethorpe, I think that's how you pronounce it, Halethorpe, Maryland, up by Baltimore. Which means the most direct route is straight through DC on Tuesday into Wednesday. Now, I don't know if I'm right in the time or not, but I believe that's when DC is supposed to be gridlocked for the trucker protest. I think that's when I think they're gonna be there Monday or Tuesday. I forget the day. So I have a feeling that might be why they accepted the bid so fast. I don't know. You know, if that's the case, I'll just have to go around, and we'll do what we can. And don't get me wrong, I've said it before about the trucker protests in Canada. I support it tenfold down here. I can't put myself in a position to be down indefinitely to protest. And I know that sounds bad, but I just can't, you know. I mean, I've got my family to think about. I can be down for a bit of time, but when it's indefinitely and you don't know how long it's going to be, I just can't do that. So, but I absolutely support and admire the drivers that are. It's something that needs to be done. I'm not going to lie. That's just my take on it, and that's why I'm not actively participating. I'm not mad that, you know, that DC is going to be gridlocked. Like I said, I'm not mad that I might have to go around it. I'm thrilled that they're doing it. You know, so I'm not even looking at it as an inconvenience in a negative way. It's just going to be what I have to plan on and deal with. So, you know, it's for a great cause. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and, I've said this before, I'm going to finish my drive, and I'm going to go ahead and head on up there. I'm like 200 miles away from the trailer. So we'll get up there and grab it, go back down to the yard and park, and then I'm going to go home for, at least on Monday morning. It's Saturday now. We'll catch this video back up when I'm at the trailer. It'll probably be dark there by the time I get there, but I'm pumped. I can't wait to get my trailer back. I really can't. It is it's really a decent trailer. Despite the super singles, it's really a decent trailer. So I can't wait to get back in it, or get back under it, and see how this truck pulls it. It'll be nice. Like I said, I've had the ability to pull several trailers with my Cascadia. And by far, that trailer pulled the best behind the Cascadia. So I'm sure it'll pull pretty nicely behind this truck too. I don't know if that's a hearse, I guess. What is that? That's kind of cool. Huh. Yeah, I like it. That thing is, look at that, it's a hearse. You see the rollers in there. That is so awesome. Huh. Cool. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've pulled this trailer. And it'll be the first time with this truck. Here she be. And she is covered in ice. Yeah, got a pretty good ice storm here. Raise her up a little bit. Looks like this one may not clear my tires. It's used to a Cascadia with 22.5 tires. Can I get under it? Let's see. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Sheer ice back here. Alright. Bigger hammer. Didn't want to have to do this. Oh, that'll work for now. Okay. Yeah, it's good enough to get me back to the yard. I'll deal with it later in the sunlight. Gosh, it is pure ice. Alright. Pulled over into the light a little bit. Now they were supposed to do the DOT on this today, and I specifically called this morning to make sure they did it, and they said yeah. And then I specifically asked, did they put the sticker on the trailer? And they said yeah. But the sticker that's on the trailer is dated from August. That annoys me. I'm a little annoyed. Guess I'll have to take it somewhere else, even though this son of a gun has been sitting here for 3 months, and they didn't even put an inspection sticker on the trailer. And they said they had the invoices for it, so they're going to be sending the invoice out. And he said they put the sticker on, but there's no sticker. That sucks. I got nothing to... I'll have to wait for them to send me the invoices so I can send it to the shop. August. In case you can't tell with all this ice on the ground, it ain't August. Alright, time to go to my yard and get the Jeep. Oh yeah. After I took that little teeny tiny hammer and love tapped the glad hand up there into the trailer, I was able to take it out and put it back in with no problem. So maybe there was just a chunk of ice or something that was in there, I don't know. But it's on there now. So yay. Alright, let's go home. About 30 minutes from the Jeep. I asked the shop too to leave me a couple gallon jugs of Rotella Ford or Rotella oil, just so I could throw them in here because of that oil leak. And because it's kind of hard to find the Rotella on the road right now. And they did. They actually had those in there. So they remembered the Rotella, but they didn't remember the inspection sticker. I guess I wasn't going fast enough for them on this 2-lane road. Alright everybody, we are back at the Jeep, and I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog right here. The trailer pulled just as well as I remembered. It pulled great coming up here. One thing I forgot about how nice this trailer is are the brakes. The brakes on that last trailer, you've heard me complain about them before. When you're empty, they jerk you all around. You barely press on the service brake up here in the truck, and if it's empty, it'll just lock those trailer axles up. And then if you're moving down the road and you're empty and you got to slow down, you feel like a pulsating in the brakes. And I had somebody look at them when I first got it. And nobody found anything wrong with them. And it wasn't my shop; it was a shop down in Texas. They couldn't find anything wrong with it. But man, they sure they were terrible brakes. I mean, they worked, but they just jerked you all over the place, and I hated it. These were smooth as glass. Exactly how I remembered, just perfect. Plus, too, the rear axle has all new brakes on it. So they put those on right before I had to park it. I never even had a chance to use them with those new brakes. But now I do, so I am pretty pumped. But anyways, guys, y'all have a good one out there and be safe and continue to survive to thrive. And we will see y'all in the next video. Take care, guys. Let's see real quick too. I wanted to point out, look at the volts gauge now. I turned off all my lights and my fan. And yeah, it's back up to 14, like a solid 14. But it was just down at like a 13 when I had everything on. Turn everything off, and boom, it's back up to a 14. I'd say she lights it up pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Got some pixels that are, whatever you want to call them. Parts of the, you can't really see it that well, but they're burning out up there on the light bar. I need to replace that bar, I'm sure. You can see it from here better. Yeah. All right, y'all, now I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a good one out there and be safe, and we'll talk at you in the next one.